Hi, I'm Sonia, and in this video I wanted to read some Neville Goddard. I did a video last week where I was reading from Neville, and then I just did the reading, my weekly reading, energy reading for the week, and this came to mind, and I told pile number 2 that I would do a video on that. So if you watched that yesterday, welcome, and if you didn't, cool. This is just something I thought I've wanted to talk about. This specific paragraph that Neville wrote in This is the Power of Awareness, which is the same book I was reading from last week if you watched that video. This is chapter 21 and it is called Free Will. So what I was saying about Neville's teachings is that Neville firmly believed that everything starts in your imagination, and I completely 1000% agree with him on that one. So what he's saying here is that you have free will, and your free will is to think the thoughts you want to think, and that's where your free will ends. So this is what Neville wrote in The Power of Awareness, chapter 21, Free Will. The question is often asked, what should be done between the assumption of the wish fulfilled and its realization? Nothing. It is a delusion that other than assuming the filling of the wish fulfilled, you can do anything to aid the realization of your desire. You think that you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing. The illusion of the free will to do is but ignorance of the law of assumption upon which all action is based. Everything happens automatically. All that befalls you, all that is done by you, happens. Your assumptions, conscious or unconscious, direct all thought and action to their fulfillment. To understand the law of assumption, to be convinced of its truth, means getting rid of all the illusions about free will to act. Free will actually means freedom to select any idea you desire. By assuming the idea already to be a fact, it is converted into reality. Beyond that, free will ends and everything happens in harmony with the concept assumed. Yeah, I agree with this. In my experience, that is 100% true. You can choose to think whatever you want about anything. The rest is gonna fucking surprise you. The things that you would need to do, you're going to do naturally and not even realize that point A to point B, I actually know exactly where that quote is. Give me just 1 second. There's a quote from Steve Jobs that I randomly found in this tarot book that I picked up one day because I was like, I need to look this up for some reason, and I was thinking of this quote and then it showed up in my life and I know exactly where it is. But Steve Jobs has a quote about how you can't put the pieces together when you're in the middle of it. Let's see. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down and has made all the difference in my life. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple. It's the same kind of quote as that I used from Albert Einstein a few weeks ago, where you can't solve the problems from the same train of thought that you created them. The only thing you can do is change your thoughts and know that by doing so consistently, you will create what you're experiencing. There is nothing you can do, which leads me to what I was taught from law of attraction. Inspiration and inspired action. What's inspired? I spent a fuck ton of time in the years that I worked with my law of attraction coach, trying to figure out if it was inspired and trying to figure out what I could do because I wanted my situation to change so desperately. The one thing I was not doing was this. I was not continuously changing my thoughts. I was doing a lot of things, vision boards and scripting and shit like that, but I did not change what I was telling myself about anything. So looking back, I feel a lot of the shit I manifested in my law of attraction days was shit that literally would have happened anyway. It was coming, like, I did shift some thoughts kind of, but not the way that I started shifting them when I came to the law of assumption and realized it's all your thoughts. Your thoughts are influencing everything else, and you have to trust, have faith that by telling yourself that it is the way you want it to be, that everything else is taken care of. And I know, like, for me, that was hard. It was very hard because I was not raised that way to think that my thoughts had any, I didn't think I had any control over everything. Everything was just like, oh, we'll hope for the best. We will hope for the best. I actually had a conversation with my mom not too long ago, and I was telling her about this kind of stuff. She's not at the moment is not into this kind of stuff. I know that's coming. I know she'll realize, and it is whatever. That's a whole nother topic, but she was telling me, I'm like, you know, you got to just decide that things are going to work out. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Because then what if I'm disappointed? What if I like get my hopes up and then I'm disappointed? And I'm like, oh, that explains a lot of where I got my mentality from. And like I said in another previous video, I know that my mom did not get that shit from, like, she didn't just make that shit up. She got that from her parents, who got that from who fucking knows how many generations this shit goes back. So you want to talk about generational trauma? That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, so you get to choose. Are you going to continue to tell yourself that same shit, or are you going to choose something different? I'm choosing something different. I choose to have that Steve Jobs outlook of, this is going to fucking work out. I don't know how. I don't care how. It's going to work out. Why? Because I did the, oh, please work out. I hope it works out. And it didn't help me do jack shit. And now, knowing what I know now, having experienced what I know now, I look back at things and go, that's why that happened. That's how that happened. Oh, no wonder that was that way. I see it. I can see it. So yeah, is there anything that you can do to make your manifestation? Change your fucking thoughts. That's it. That's all you can do. Are you doing that? Then know it's done. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I intend that this was helpful. Love and light.